start with one more attack, that is your cross-site scripting. Okay, so cross-site scripting, basically whenever anybody is studying or anybody is going around with the concept, if I ask you scripting concept, right? Which kind of script it is talking about over here? Any example? Anybody? JavaScript. Apart from that, anything else? It can be a shell script or not. It can be a Python script as well or not. Okay. These things are supported by web today, 2020, 2021, or maybe next 4 years. This thing will be 100% supported by this. Web is one thing which will never die, right? Nowadays, a new thing is coming into the market and it will be the next thing in the purple teaming, DevSecOps. This will be the next 4 or 5 year projection for this profile. Very hot one right now in the job market. Okay, so when I talk about scripting, I was over here. JavaScript, shell script, Python script. It can be a Ruby script also. It can be a PHP script also. Anything, right? Scripting can be anything. But whenever we talk about cross-site scripting, we generally focus over here or nowadays over Python scripting as well. You can call a pop-up by these methods as well. Okay, in cross-site scripting, what happens? We try to pass untrusted inputs to the web application. For example, 0, 1 or 1 equal 1, this is also an untrusted input. But here we are trying to call a script vector like this. Like this what? Script alert 1, script close, script alert apt class, script close. Can anybody tell me what these things will give me on the screen? Alert 1, okay, and alert apt class, 100% true. Okay, so what is this vulnerability? Can anybody make me understand what is this vulnerability? Pop-up is a vulnerability. What we can do with the pop-up? We can get the session ID and cookie values. 100% right. That is what it is written in the next statement over here. Okay, document.cookie. We will run all the functions together. Don't worry on this. Right. Basically, three types are there in the market. One is the reflected, another one is the stored, and another one is the DOM base. First two are popular. This one is not popular. In 20 after 2018, this vulnerability is not more there because we have modern web apps today. So there is no need of even studying this thing, but at least I'll give you a fair idea. I'll not perform you, but I'll give you a fair idea of the DOM based accesses over here. Right? It is not there now because most of the framework they have updated and they have already mitigated out these things. Okay, so the first one is reflected, then you have a stored. In reflected, what will come? Pop-up will come, you will click on OK and the pop-up will go away. It will not stay there for a longer period of time. Okay, but what happens when we have a stored accesses? So what happens up over here, guys? This whole thing will be injected in the browser. It will be storing inside the database over here. That means your script will be storing inside the database. Now, anybody who will call the same request again, he will be getting the pop-up on the screen, exactly the same pop-up. It will be staying there with the database server. That is why it is known as stored or persistent accesses over there. This is the concept that it goes around. Okay, so what we do over here, we will test on a website. Together we will test. Okay, let me write the vector and I will give you the vector also in the chat. So I'm writing these two, three things. Alert 1, close. Okay, then you have alert apt class. Then you have alert of document.cookie. Cool. Let's try this thing first. So anywhere where input is possible, it can be in the URL, it can be in the username password field, it can be in the contact forms, anywhere where input is possible, you can inject the script over there. Okay, search box is also one of the interesting areas where we look for. Okay, so we will start with this part. Let's see what happens. Firefox you will use, no other browser, nowhere it will work with you apart from the Firefox one. Okay, it will not work anywhere else. Chrome is automatically blocking these kind of stuff. So I'm testing on test PHP only. Then I will come up to this website, or you can practice on this website also. So going over here in the search box, guys, let's try script alert one. One comes up. That means XSS is there, but of which type we cannot confirm. We can click on OK. I will again redirect to my home. Nothing comes up. That means it is a reflective one. It is not storing anywhere. Not storing anywhere. I can write apt class also. Apt class. Yes, apt class is coming. No problem. But it is not storing anywhere. I come to my home again. Nothing comes up. Okay. Similarly, I go to my sign in page, sign up page. Username, password is written. Test. Let me get in. Something is written. Let me just replace by apt class everywhere. Copy pasting the stuff again and again, again and again. Just trusting on the inputs. Okay. Update. Cool. This is there. Okay. Right. That means it is a stored one. It is a persistent one. It is storing directly inside the database server. No matter which part of the world you are sitting, which city, which country you are sitting, it will be exactly the same stuff. So basically what we were doing, you see this one, reflected one is known as non-persistent. That means it is not staying there into the database. Stored one is storing where? Storing into the database. That is why it is persistent. It is staying there for the website for a longer period of time. This is just you click on OK, it goes away. It is just reflecting you the result and it goes away. Nothing it will save. It will not save you anywhere. It is just client side. Storing, it is going into the database server and storing somewhere. So that is why persistence is there. Okay, going ahead, and we will see one more thing. In the same thing, I am writing, guys, document.cookie script document.cookie. Let's write this. What I am trying to steal the cookie from the page. Pop-up is giving me test f percentage to f test. Percentage to f here means the space. I am able to see my username and password in clean text, sensitive data exposure, security misconfiguration, and session issues. Three vulnerabilities we can classify in this case. So document.cookie, it can take up, it can fetch up the information from the cookie or the session ID you can steal, and you can use the same cookie again into the browser. You can inject and you will be into the same session. That is why this attack is so much popular. Previously, it was on the third position. Now it has came up onto the seventh position. You can see. Previously, it was on the third one. Reason being because most of the frameworks now they block it. Correct. So we have done on a very basic level in real time, or when I advance you in the next class, and I will advance you on this attack. We'll do a chaining of the attack. Through XSS, we can hack up a system or a server. Remote code execution can happen. So that is known as chaining of the attack. XSS to RCE, remote code execution. Okay. So generally what happens, guys, this is a very common thing, right? Because nowadays, everyone is like very much secure enough. People will block these kind of keywords in their environment. Script vector, they will block. Nobody will write script and they will allow you to run script inside their network or the web application. No one, right? So what people will do, people will try to change the writing style in term of calling up a JavaScript inside the web application. So what we use OWASP filter evasion cheat sheet. OWASP filter evasion cheat sheet. This thing we use. So you can see, let's suppose you want to call up a JavaScript, you can call like this. In the image source, you can call like this. Image source, mouse over, alert XSS. We can call up a script like this. Okay, then you will see we can call on alert like this. So you don't have to learn, right? You just have to come land on this website and you will see that how people bypass the filters. I'll tell you how to automate this thing in the Burp Suite as well, so that you don't have to come to the website and again hit. This is HTML character encoding. No need to learn, right? Just copy paste. People do this only. In this website, there are 87 vectors which you can try on the web application. This is given by OWASP only. Okay, this thing. Prevention, you are a pen tester right now. You want to give a control. So basically, input validation control, web application firewall, like mod security, we can use in order to learn. If you learn in your environment, you can implement this mod security, open source web application firewall. You can try to implement it over the website and you can see all those stuff. Okay, mod security. Then you have this thing called null breaks and number of I told you, right? Perl script they are using. See, in the null breaks they will be using Perl script. I'll showcase you. See, Perl script. This is also a way of calling the JavaScript vector. Correct. So we have XSS filter evasion cheat sheet and we have XSS prevention cheat sheet also. This one. This is used when we are using coding and when you want to do access control, attack surface analysis, then validation, hardening you want to do of an application. These controls, these rules we use while we are developing. So DevSecOps people basically, they use these kind of stuff. Okay. So this thing you should know, guys. Mod security is a web application firewall, open source web application firewall. We can use this thing as well for the protection. It will block you from the OWASP top 10 attacks nicely. Okay, these things we can perform, and I have already written into your notes. These notes I have written everything. Day 5 something. I have written everything over there. And we discussed this thing also, APT day 5. I will upload it over there. Okay,